Alright, we are back with another video, and today I want to talk about being present in the moment and focusing on what you're doing in that place, that time. And this is very important because obviously you've got to keep in mind what you want to achieve and where you want to be and where you don't want to be, and keep yourself goal focused. But you've also got to make sure that every second of the day you're not dwelling on things from the past. Too you're not dwelling about what you think is going to happen in the future. It's more about what's going on in the current moment. What can you do to go and achieve that goal that you want? What can you do to stay away from the thing that you don't want to happen? And what's going to best benefit you? Like how much can you notice in a situation that you wouldn't normally notice? Like try this very basic thing of next time you go out, maybe you're at the gym or you're just in the garden or you're at a park or something, just on a walk, just to get rid of all your distractions. Don't think about what you're having for dinner or what you're doing in the next few years or days or whatever. Don't think about anything in the past. Just focus on whatever's going on in that moment. Think about the people that you see. So notice everything, all the things you hear, the sights you see, what you can smell, what you've got in your hands, what can you touch. If you're barefoot, what's the ground feel like? Are you in a park and is there someone throwing a frisbee for a dog up in front of you? Are you on a walk and you're hearing the birds tweet and you're hearing all of the nice bird calls and you've got the wind blowing through the trees? What do you hear? What do you see? What colours? You've got to be more present in the moment and enjoy those kinds of things. And when it comes to making progress, you've also got to be present and focus on what you're doing, because if you're constantly waiting for a message to reply or waiting for an email, then it's not gonna help you just sitting there. You're meant to be doing one task and then your mind drifts off for a second and then you're thinking about, oh, has that email been answered yet? Or I ought to go check that. That's not how you want to be living. You don't want to be living your life through reaction. You want to be living it through action itself and delayed action by your own choice. So set out time during the day when you can consume content. So watch your YouTube videos and read books and that kind of thing. Set out a time in the day when you can answer email, answer text, answer message, email, DMs and that kind of thing. And obviously you can do these things multiple times a day. It doesn't just have to be once a day, but what you want to do is set yourself a time so you don't have to worry about it throughout the day of, oh, should I go check my emails? Oh, should I go do this? And then you're in the middle of work and you just swipe across a tab and then you're looking at your emails and you're scrolling through them looking for new ones, or you're on Instagram looking through the messages and you get devoured into that content. You get sucked into scrolling through Instagram. Instead, just have a set time to consume content and answer to messages and emails and that kind of thing and phone calls, so that you don't distract yourself from work throughout the rest of the day. And when you're working, you need to be present on what you're doing. What is the message you're trying to send when you're writing that email? What is the goal that you're trying to bring by what you're currently doing? So what is the reward from that task? Are you sending out messages? Are you at the gym pushing yourself? You've got to be completely in the moment and focused on what you're doing. So if I'm at the gym and I'm doing bench press or something, I'm not going to be thinking about, oh, what am I having for dinner later? Because I know what I have for dinner. I eat the same thing every day. I'm not going to be thinking about work. I'm going to be focused on, okay, so getting stronger, making sure you're in the right position, making sure you've got the bar out to the right place, and you go down nice and slow and explode upwards. You've got to visualize every second of the movement, and you think about that while you're doing it, and before you do it, and after you do it, in between sets. That's what you're meant to be focusing on. You're focusing on the task at hand, what's going on at that second, and you're doing that. And then in between sets, you could have it visualizing in your head, but you could be focusing on the water in your mouth as you're drinking. You could be focusing on other people in the gym, seeing what they're doing, being more aware. But you've got to be more present in the moment and focus on what's actually happening around you and what the task at hand is, and what you want to get from that task. So be more focused on what's going on around you. As I said, use your senses and be more aware of what other people are doing around you. And the task itself, focus more on what the task is, what is the route you're going about to fulfill the task and complete it, how are you doing that best, and what is the outcome that you want from that task, and how is this going to get you that outcome. And you've got to constantly keep that in mind. And then you also want to set out parts of your day for the distractions, so that you don't end up getting distracted when you're in the middle of something. So instead of reacting to messages and emails, you can set a time, be it in the morning or the evening, or be it twice a day, 3 times a day, where you can go and answer your texts and emails and that kind of thing. You set that time so that you're not, when you're in a focus session of work, you're not distracted and taken away from the thing that you're meant to be concentrating on. So you've got to, by being more present, you can then choose to use more of your energy on what you're doing. So with what I do at the gym now, because I'm training so much more intensely, I have to be more present, I have to be more focused. I can't be thinking about something else. I have to be fully in the moment, on task, on what I'm doing, and focusing on that and the movement. Where am I putting the pressure through? Which muscles am I working? How hard am I pushing? And even then, it's such a basic thought. When you're in the middle of a really heavy set, it's just push, 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 or pull, 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 or whatever the movement may be. It's just go, 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 go. Okay, good. Breathe. Go again. Down, controlled. And you just think about it because you're so present in the moment. And if you can implement that into your work, into anything else that you're doing, by being so present, by thinking about what you're talking about, by thinking about what you're working on, you can just absolutely blast off and make so much progress, because you're constantly focused on what that is, what is going on in that second, in that moment. And obviously there's a degree to planning. You need to plan some things out, and you need to think about the future, and you need to keep your goals in mind and what you fear in mind. But it's so important to stay present, stay in the moment, so that you can focus on what actually matters, because there's no promise that you could get hit by that you won't get hit by a bus tomorrow. You could get hit by a car and that's it. So there's no point thinking about tomorrow. You've got to think, what can I do now that's going to help me reach this goal? What can I do now that's going to help me at the end of the day, so I can look back and say, I have taken a step toward X or Y? And you've got to think of it like that. It's, what can I do in this second, in this moment, to get better in the areas that I want to get better in? And that's it, all it is. You've got to be present and ask yourself constantly, what can I do in this moment that's going to help me improve? What can I do now that's going to help me improve? What is going on around me? By being more aware, you're just going to help yourself amazingly as well, because you're going to realise what else is going on around you. It's going to help you with ideas, it's going to help you with work. You might learn just new words, new ways of speaking, new ways of thought. You might think about a different way on how to communicate with someone, and you might get a different view on an idea or an argument or that kind of thing. Anything, you can get anything from anything around you. And it's so easy just to open your eyes a bit, be more present, stop thinking about 10, 20 years in the future all day, and just be more present in what you're doing and what's going on around you, so you can actually notice these things and take the lessons from it. So you can learn from what's actually going on. How are people talking when they're around you? What's going on when you're on a walk? What are those people in the cafe talking about? What do people talk about on a day-to-day basis? You can learn so much by just listening, being more attentive, and being more aware of what's going on. So it's probably been a short video, and all I just want to say, all I want to finish with, is just be more present, be more focused on what you need to do. Maybe it means setting out your day, the night before, so you can attack things in chunks, and then you can be present for half an hour, 2 hours, however long you can or need to be present for, and you can focus then on the task at hand without any distractions. You cut them all out, and you're just completely enveloped in what you're doing, in that task at hand, so that you can go about it the best way and make the most progress within that area. So just become more present. And there's a great book which is called The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, and it's an amazing book about being completely present, being aware of what's going on, taking a breath and feeling the breath fill your lungs, and just taking a step back from all the distractions. You can then look at what's going on around you, what everyone else is doing, and being more aware of the task and how that's going to help. So thank you for watching, guys, and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and we'll see you tomorrow.